my name is Taylor Peach, and today I have a really cute and easy amigurumi tutorial for you. Let's take a peek in my little picnic basket to see what we'll be making today. Oh, berries! They're little bears that look like berries with a stem. They've got their cute little ears. This one is the one that I'll be showing you how to make in this tutorial. And this is a beginner tutorial, so I'm going to go through everything very slowly to begin with and explain everything to you. I also made a strawberry. He's very red and cute. And I made a blueberry. This one's the first one I made. He looks a little bit different than the other ones. But practice makes perfect. These little bears are super easy to make, and they're very cute, and they're tiny, so it doesn't take that much time. Sometimes amigurumi projects take a whole lot of time. This one, I've already made 3, and I only found the pattern like a week ago. Alright, let's go. Let's go over everything that you'll need to make this cute little bear. The first and most important thing is your yarn. You'll just want a yarn of any color you want. I'm choosing pink because I love pink, and light colors are very easy to see all your stitches. I wouldn't recommend using a dark color if this is your first project because it'll be a lot harder to see your stitches. The second thing you'll need is a green color because these bears are berries and they need a green stem. You don't have to use green if you don't want to, but I think it makes them look really cute. Also need some polyfill. This is just the regular stuff that goes into stuffed animals. You will need a 3.5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle to join all of your little pieces together, some stuffed animal safety eyes, or you can use felt. Black felt in whatever felt color you want for around their nose. I'm just going with pink, same as my yarn. Some scissors. And a placeholder does help a lot, but if you don't have a placeholder, you can always just use a little piece of yarn to keep your place. You'll also need something to attach your felt to your amigurumi. And I'm just going to use my really old glue gun because it works very well. This is a beginner tutorial, so anytime I mention something new or something that I haven't shown you before, I'm going to go through it very slowly and explain to you what it is, why I'm doing it, and hopefully you'll get the hang of it so you'll be able to do those by yourself. So to start out with, we're going to get our main yarn color, which is pink for me. Just not the green one unless you want a green bear with a green stem. And your crochet hook, which is 3.5mm. You can go smaller or higher. That will only affect how large or small your stitches are, which will in turn affect how small or large your amigurumi is. The reason why I know this is because when me and my friend would make crochet, I would have a 5mm hook and she would have a 5.5, and hers would always be just a little bit bigger than mine. Right now we're going to make a slip knot to begin our crochet. So take the end of your yarn. You don't need your crochet hook for this. Wrap it around your fingers all the way to the back. Now this one, you'll want to put it underneath what you already wrapped and pull that through. And that is a slip knot. I'll show it to you one more time. Take the end of your yarn, wrap it around your 2 fingers, not tightly, just like that. Put this underneath that one, and you pull that through. And that is a slip knot. Do it one more time. This is how you begin a lot of crochet. Other times you'll begin with a magic circle. Slip knot is the most popular way to begin crochet. and then you'll stick your crochet hook in there. Now for this pattern, you will want to chain 2. Chaining is just you wrap your yarn around your hook and pull it through your current loop. That's 1 chain, wrap it around, pull it through. That is 2 chains. Chain is just you wrap it around your hook and pull it through. But now you can see we've got 1, 2. That is how you count your stitches. 1, 2. You can see each of them has 2 little bumps to it. 1 and 2. That's 1, 1, 2, 2. Next, in the second chain from the hook, 1, 2. This is the second from the hook. We are going to put 6 single crochets. So what we'll do is insert right here. We're going to yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through both of those. That is a single crochet. That is 1. You can count it right there. It only has 1 stitch. We're going to insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. That is 2 single crochets. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Now, as you can see, we have 3 single crochets in that same chain. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 3 more, so we have 6. Insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Now we have 4. If you're unsure of exactly how I'm doing this, you can always rewind the video and you can adjust the speed. You can put me at 0.5 speed, so I'm going very slow motion, just like this. There, now we've got 5. 1 more, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Now we have 6 single crochets in the second chain from the hook, and you can count them right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't matter where you start counting them from. You can count them from the hook all the way back. You can count them from here all the way to the hook. It's all up to you. And that is our first round. So now we're going to move on to the second round. So make sure you start in your first stitch. If you're unsure which one that is, count from your hook. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to insert into both of those little bumps that I talked about. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get it in there whenever you're first starting. Insert it, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Now you have 1 single crochet in that stitch. And what we're going to do now is we're going to mark this place, because we know that this was the beginning of our second round. This is where when we come back around, we will know exactly where to stop. I have a placeholder actually, so I can just clip that on, but I will show you how to make your own placeholder so you don't have to go out and buy one or make one. You'll just take a little bit of different colored yarn, make sure it's different so you'll know exactly when you reach around there again. Pull that little loop out so it doesn't fall. Right here is where we're going to mark. Stick your crochet hook through and pull through that different colored yarn. And you can make a little knot if you want so it doesn't fall out. And there is your placeholder if you do not have one. But if you do have one, you can always just clip it into place. Just like that. so I know where to stop when I come back around. Now, we're going to go back into the same stitch that we just went through. So this one right here, we're going to make a single crochet. So now we have 2 single crochets in one stitch. That is called an increase. And we do that to increase the number of stitches that we have in that round. If we just did single crochets all the way around, it would just become a tiny little tube that never increases in size, but we're making a ball, so we're going to increase. Now, in your next stitch, we're going to put another 2 single crochet. So right here's your next stitch. You can see the 2 little bumps. We're going to insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. There's 1 single crochet. We're going to go back into the same one and do another single crochet. So now we've got another 2 single crochets in one stitch. So now we have 4 stitches and only 2 stitches of our first round. And we're going to keep putting 2 single crochets in each of these stitches so that we go from 6 stitches to 12 stitches. Just put 2 single crochets in each one. Now I've reached my place marker right here, so I know that this round is over with. If I didn't have this here, I would be very unsure of where to stop unless I kept constantly counting my stitches. Now when you're a beginner and you haven't done this before, it's important to always count your stitches. Or if you've never done a specific pattern before, it's still important to count your stitches. So starting here, I'm going to count and make sure I have 12. So you're going to count each of those 2 little bumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you would count where your placeholder is because that is our first stitch. So I do have 12 all the way around, so that means that I'm done with my second round. I'm going to insert my crochet hook back in, and we're going to get ready to go to round 3. Each round is all about patterns. For our second round, we did 2 single crochets in each stitch. For round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets. And I'll show you what I mean. Take out your placeholder. So this will be the first stitch that you work on in this round. You'll do 1 single crochet. And do not forget to put your placeholder back in, or else you will lose your place. There, so that's our first stitch. And after that, we're going to go to the next stitch. Not this one, that would be the same. We're going to go to the next one and do 2 single crochets in this stitch. So we're increasing there. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the next. 1, 2. And you're going to do that all around until you reach your placeholder again. The reason why we do 1 and then 2, which is our increase, is to space out our increases. This will ensure that we make a sphere. If we just increased willy-nilly over on this side and didn't increase over here, it would be very lopsided because you'd have more stitches over here than over here. So we just put single crochets in between our increases to space them out and make sure that it's very symmetrical. And if you're ever lost of where you are, like I stopped to talk to you, I'm not exactly sure where I'm at. You can always start at your placeholder and say, well, I know that this was 1 single crochet, and then 1, 2. 1 single crochet, 1, 2. So my next one would be 1. 1 single crochet, and then 1, 2 in the same stitch. 1, and then 1, 2. And you're going to do this until you reach the end, and you will have 18 stitches if you've done it right. I've now reached the end of round 3, and I've already counted. I have 18 stitches around. Make sure you count to be sure that you've done everything right, and if you haven't, you can always unravel, find your mistake, and fix it. Now we're going to be going on to round 4. Take out your placeholder and do 1 single crochet. Replace your placeholder, and then you'll want to do another single crochet in the next stitch. Alright, so for this pattern we're going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase. So we've got 1, 2, and then an increase. So 2 single crochets in the same stitch, just like we've been doing. So you've got 1, 2, 1, 2. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then an increase. 2 single crochets in the same stitch. You're going to do this until you reach your placeholder again. This time you'll have 24 stitches. And of course, if you ever lose track, you can always do 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. So I've got to do my 1, 2 again. 1, 2, and then an increase. 1, 2. I'm going to do that until I reach my placeholder. Okay, I've now finished round 4. I've reached the end because I'm at my placeholder again, and I have counted. I do have 24 stitches. Please make sure that you have 24 stitches. If you do not, go back and find your mistake and fix it. Now we're going to go on to round 5. We're going to take out our placeholder again. We're going to single crochet and then put our placeholder back into that stitch that we just made, right there. Our next pattern is going to be 3 single crochets and then an increase. So we've already got 1, this will be 2, and then 3. So now we've got 3 single crochets. You can see our 3 stitches right here, and then an increase. So 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. There we go. And then 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. 1, 2. And you're going to do that all the way around until you reach your placeholder again. And this time you should have 30 stitches all the way around. I'm now done with round 5, and you should count to make sure that you have 30 stitches. I've already counted and I do have 30. So now we're going to go on to the next step. Round 6. Take out your placeholder, single crochet, and put your placeholder back in. This is always very important. You never want to lose your place, especially in these steps. Okay, so get you a pen and a piece of paper or a pencil or use your phone or something, but I need you to write down 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. These are going to be the rounds that we're doing. We're on 6 right now, and we're going to single crochet all the way around without any increases. And once we get back around to our placeholder, we're going to check 6 off because we know that we're done with round 6. And I'll show you what I mean whenever I get around to it. So you're just going to single crochet in each stitch. You should not end up with more or less than 30 stitches when you get done, because we're only putting 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Once you've made it all the way around, just doing your single crochets in each stitch, take out your placeholder, do another single crochet, and replace your placeholder. And now we know that we are done with 6. And just check that off. We're going to be working on 7 now. And once you reach the end of 7, take out your placeholder, single crochet, put it back in, check off 7. And just keep doing that until you've checked off 10. Once you've checked off 10, then you're good to go. Look at all those ducks. Oh my goodness. There's so many. Oh, they're so cute. Anyway, I have just finished my 5 rounds. I've checked them all off. So once you have checked all these off, then you're ready to go to the next step with me. Here we are. You could have already moved your placeholder and put a single crochet here. That's fine. If you did that, just leave it for now, because we're going to be doing that anyway, so don't worry about it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to flip our work, because if you'll notice, this texture is not exactly what Amigurumi is supposed to look like. If we flip it, that is much, much better. This texture is greatly preferred. The other one's just a little bit too bumpy. And then our little tail from the beginning will be inside there, so we don't have to worry about it. So now we'll just be working like this. It's the same thing, it's just flipped the other way. So now, since we're done with 10, we're going to go on to 11. Take out your placeholder. Get out of there. And we're going to single crochet right here. Take our placeholder and put it back in. Alright. So for this pattern, we're going to do 3 single crochets in their own stitch, and then we're going to decrease. And I'll show you what that is once we get to it. So 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to decrease. And basically what this does is it will take 2 stitches, these 2 right here, and make them into 1 stitch. So this will lower the amount of stitches we have, and therefore instead of going out, we will then go in. So we'll have a nice ball shape. And that is why we do that. And we still put our single crochets in between to space those decreases out. So what we're going to do to decrease is insert your hook into your first stitch. Yarn over, pull through, insert your hook into the second stitch, yarn over, pull through. So now you'll have 3 loops on your hook. So you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those. So now you can see you only have 1 stitch that you made from 2. There's your 2 going into 1. Now we're going to do our 3 single crochets again in their own stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then decrease, insert your hook into your first stitch, yarn over, pull through, insert your hook into your second stitch, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops, yarn over, and pull through all 3 of them. There you go. And I'll do it one more time just to make sure you got it. So do 1, 2, 3, and then insert into your first stitch, yarn over, pull through, insert into your second stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Alright, you're going to continue to do the 3 single crochets and then a decrease until you reach your placeholder. And then you will have 24 stitches. I've now reached my placeholder again, so that means I'm at the end of round 11 going on to round 12. Make sure you have 24 stitches around. If you don't, unravel and fix your mistake. Happens to the best of us, happens to me, happens to everybody, so don't feel bad if you mess it up. Alright, going on to 12, take your placeholder out, single crochet, replace that placeholder so you know where you're at. It's never good to not know exactly what you're doing whenever you're crocheting. Get in there. There we go. Alright, so for this round our pattern is 2 single crochets and then a decrease. So we've already got 1. Now we're going to go to 2 and then our decrease. Alright, and then 1, 2, and then a decrease. One more time for you. 1, 2, and then another decrease. You'll want to keep doing this all the way around until you reach your placeholder, and then you should have 18 stitches. Alright, now I've reached the end of round 12 and I have 18 stitches. Make sure that you have 18. I'm going to loosen this up a little bit so it doesn't just pull through. And now it's time for our eyes. Okay, if you are using safety eyes, which are found on stuffed animals, then now would be the time to put them in. If you're going to use felt or a marker, you can wait until the end. I'm going to do them now. And be aware, if you have small children, like if this is a gift for a small child or baby, typically under 3 years old, be aware that this is a choking hazard. If this is swallowed, they will choke on it. So always be aware of who you are making your amigurumis for. And of course, you can always make them for yourself. You don't have to give them to anyone if you don't want to, but they are good gifts. I got these off of Wish, and they have a few different sizes. I'm just using one of the smaller sizes, since this is a pretty small amigurumi. I'll just put this away. Okay, so our pattern says we need to place our eyes between round 9 and round 10. And the way we can count this is by starting here. You see each of these little rows? Each of those is our round. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to put it in between here. You pick whichever place you want. I'm going to pick right here. So I'm going to stick it right there through our stitch. Okay? Don't fasten it on yet. And then it says that the eyes should be 5 stitches apart, and you can count. Each one of these little bumps is a stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put it right here, so we'll have 5 in between. I'm going to swap these out real quick because this one's got a little bit of plastic on it. There we go. See, it's got those ugly edges right there. Once you're happy with your placement, you can always take them out and put them somewhere else. You don't have to have it between these rows. You don't have to have it 5 apart. You can put them wherever you want. This is your creation. Amigurumi and crochet is an art. It is not a science. You do however you want. So you take the backs and you just pop that on there, just like that. Make a nice little clicking noise, just like that. Now your eyes are safely secured. But still remember, even though you might not be able to pull them off, it's still a choking hazard because a baby could chew on these and it gets lodged in their throat, and that is not good. If you're ever going to make something for a young child under 3, make sure you either embroider or use felt. Okay, so going back, turn your work back around, or you could have put your eyes here, it's wherever you want. Stick your hook back in your loop, tighten it back up. Remember, we're facing our placeholder. Next is round 13. So we're going to take out our placeholder. We're going to do a single crochet. Put our placeholder back in. So we've got 1 single crochet. And our pattern for this round is 1 single crochet and then a decrease. So since we've already got this one, we're just going to decrease. And for this one, we should be left with 12 stitches. 1 single crochet, decrease. 1 single crochet, decrease. 1 single crochet and decrease. And you'll just do that until you reach your placeholder. Alrighty, I've reached the end. Now I should have 12 stitches. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We do have 12 stitches. Look at this tiny little hole. You see how our decreases have made this more spherical. There's our increases. Here's where we just did our single crochets all the way around. And then here's our decreases. See how the increases and decreases make the different curves? That goes all the way around too. Now we are going to loosen this up again, and we're going to grab our stuffing. And you'll just want to grab the stuffing and put as much in there as you can. I just like to rip off little pieces at a time and put them in there. And you can fit a lot in there. You know, you can put however much you want. If you want something that's kind of squishy, you can fill that in there. You could even put like a little heart in there, like how they do with Build-A-Bears. You put something that smells good in there. Anything you want. Okay. I believe that's good for stuffing. We're going to put our loop back on our hook, and we're going to continue to our last round. This is round 14, and I'm just going to take my placeholder out for now because it's a little bit harder to just have your placeholder stick it in there. So what we're going to do is decrease all the way around until we have 6 stitches. So no single crochets here, just decrease all the way around. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. And now your body is done. So now we're going to fasten off. And this one does not have to be very long because we're not really attaching the body to anything, we're just attaching things to the body. So once you've snipped it off, just pull through. There you go. Ta-da! There's your little body. All done. Our next step we're going to do is make the ears for our bear. So you'll want to make another slip knot. Just wrap the yarn around and pull it through. Put it on your hook. And then we're going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. As you can see, we've got 2 chains. Now what we're going to do is in the second chain from the hook, which would be 1, 2, we're going to do a single crochet into this. 1, and then we're going to do 6 double crochets. And I will show you how to do that. First, you'll want to yarn over before you go in the stitch. Put it in the stitch, yarn over, and pull through. Now you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 of them. And then you'll only have 2. Yarn over and pull through those 2. Let me show you again. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you've got 2 double crochets. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you've got 3. If you're still unsure how to do it, please rewind and watch very carefully. We're going to make 3 more double crochets so that we have 6. There's 4. 5. 6. After you have 6 double crochets, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one was our single crochet. We're going to do another single crochet. So insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And now you've got a little ear. Isn't that cute? So for this one, we're going to leave kind of a long tail because we are going to attach it to the bear. So snip that off and pull it through. There you go. We're going to make one more of these so that we've got 2 ears. Unless you want a bear with only 1 ear. That's completely up to you. Now you should have 2 ears, just like this, that look very similar. I'm going to set those aside with our body, and we're finally going to get our green yarn. Now for this, you'll want to have a really long end to start with. So what I do is I measure about the length of my arm. So I hold it in my fingertips right here. I stretch my arm all the way out, and then I take it up to my shoulder. So as you can see, this is how long that is. Because it says about 16 inches, and I've found that just the length of my arm works. So right here where you stretched it to your shoulder, you are going to make a slip knot. So you've still got this really long tail. The pattern, it says 16 inches. So you can measure it out, or you can just leave it really long and you can cut off the excess later. Okay, so with our slip knot, I'm going to put it on our crochet hook, and we're going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through, that's chain 1, yarn over, pull through, that's chain 2. So now we're going to put 6 single crochets into the second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, insert yarn over, pull through. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Okay, you can count to make sure you've got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what we're going to do is we're going to increase on each of these until we have 12 stitches. So you can either put your place marker here and go until you reach it, or you can just count. So we're going to insert into our first stitch right here and do 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Like I said, you can put your placeholder here because that's the first stitch, or you can just count. So now that's 1, 2. Next stitch, 2 single crochets, 3, 4. Next stitch, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12. So now we know we've got 12 stitches all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now here comes the little bit of a tricky part. This is probably the most complex stitch in this whole pattern, but it's really easy once you get the hang of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to chain 4. So that's yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can count that you've got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, from the second chain from the hook, 1, 2, you're going to single crochet. And I just put it in this little stitch right here. So, single crochet. So here's your remaining 2. 1, 2. And in each of these, you are going to do a half double crochet. So what you'll do for a half double crochet is yarn over and insert, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all of them, all 3. And that is a half double crochet. Then you'll do it in the next one, which is right here. So this is the one we just went in. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. Now you'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all of them. And there's your half double crochets. Now back on your round, this is your next stitch. You're going to do a single crochet here and a single crochet in the next. So that's 2 single crochets in their own stitch. 1 and 2. And now here is your little leaf on your stem. Isn't that so cute? We're going to repeat that 5 more times, so we'll have a total of 6 of these. I'm going to show you how to make one of these one more time before I finish the rest of it. So after you've done your 2 single crochets, you're going to chain 4 again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the second chain from the hook, which is right here, you'll single crochet. And then in the rest, which is 2 more, you will do a half double crochet. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all. So there's one of them, and then the other. Alright, and then back to your round. You're going to do 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. There you go. Now you've got 2 of them, and you're just going to keep doing that until you reach around here, and you'll have 6 of these. I've now finished this. I've got my 6 little leaves. And for this one, you can only do 1 single crochet after you're done to attach that to the bottom. But now we are going to fasten off, and for this one you want to leave a really long tail because you're going to have to attach that to the body. So I've snipped that off and just pull it all the way through. Oop. There we go. There we go. This is what we're going to use to attach it to the body. So we're going to put that aside. Now what about this? Well, as you can see, this texture is the texture that we don't want on our amigurumi. So we're going to flip that over. This is the texture that we want. And we're going to take our crochet hook and put it through the center here and grab that piece of yarn and pull it through here. There we go. Now we're going to make the stem. To make the stem, we're going to make a slip knot as close to the body of this as possible. And that's about as close as you can get, is right there. And then insert your hook. Then you're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now starting from the second chain from your hook, you're just going to slip stitch. So insert, yarn over and pull through the rest. You're going to do that to the next one. Insert, yarn over and just pull through all. Insert, yarn over, pull through all. And you just keep doing that until you get to the end. Okay, now you're done with the stem. Well, at least from the pattern, but I've noticed that you can never really get this too close. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna insert my hook into the center, yarn over, and pull through both of those. And then just pull through the rest. That way, your stem stays attached. I'm also going to come up from the bottom and pull that through so it won't be sticking out. Come on. There we go. There. So now you've got your little stem. The next step is to attach all of your pieces. But first I'm going to get rid of this right here. You can close up this hole if you want to, but this is just going to go right on top, so you really don't have to. So you'll need to get your yarn needle. If you already know how to join things together, you can skip to this time right here. But if you don't, I'll try to explain to you how to do it. So just put your yarn through your yarn needle and tie a little knot. And I'm just going to hide this. So I'm just going to stick this all the way through and out to the bottom. Pull that. And then I'm going to cut it off. Because that way, that is going to be safely inside here with nothing that's going to be able to rip it out. And of course, take your yarn off of your yarn needle. If you made a double knot, you can always just snip it off with your scissors. And then you can just throw that away or use it as scraps. So the next step is to attach the stem. Just like that. You can either attach it like this and put the ears here, or you can attach it like this and put the ears here. I'll show you the difference in that. Here's the ones that I made before, and this one, it has the point down the middle with the ears in the center, and this one has the 2 points with the ears near the back. And you can put it however you want. I think that this one looks a little bit better because it doesn't make the ears look as big, but also not as noticeable. So it's completely up to you what you want to do. I'm gonna go with these two in the front, with these in the side and these two in the back, so that my ears are back a little bit farther. I think it just makes it look a little bit cuter. But if you want to, you can have the ears in the center with one pointing down the middle, and these two out here, so it's even. 3 in the front, 3 in the back. But you have to attach the stem first. I'm going to try to show you how to do that. I'm not the best at explaining how to attach things. I kind of just do it. What I'm going to do first is this right here. I'm going to attach it to my yarn needle and pull it through the top just so that thing is stuck in there and I don't have to worry about getting rid of it later. So I'm just going to stick that through all the way to the bottom, just like that. And I'm not going to cut it off yet, because if I leave it out, if it gets loose like that, I can just pull it back. Make sure you adjust it to where you want it. And I think I want it right here with the stem facing that way. You can always change however you want it. But right here is where we left off. So we're going to put that on our yarn needle. And you could always get another yarn needle or some pins to stick in here so it doesn't move around as much. I just kind of wing it, you know. For this, I'm definitely going to double knot it because I'm going to do multiple stitches instead of just bringing the yarn through the body. Okay, so pull that. Now, wherever we put our yarn needle and pull it through, this is where this will end up. So if I were to put it over here, then it would pull it over there. So since I already have it sitting how I want it, I'm going to put it to the closest stitch right here. It should be right underneath. So I'm going to put that through there, and I'm going to come out where I want this one to go. So if I lay that down, looks like about here. So I'm going to aim for right there. Takes a few tries to get it through. Just pull that all the way through. There we go. Make sure it don't get caught on anything. Ooh. Don't make a knot. There we go. Pull that through. Now, this part is safely secured to our bear. And now this is coming up. Whatever we attach to this one is going to go right here. So if I were to go through this one, this would be whoop, dragged right over there. But instead, I'm going to pull it through this one because it's right above. Try not to make a knot with that. So I'm pulling that through. See that right there? It's going right on top. Next, I'm just going to go right here because this is going to show up on the top. I don't want to go all the way over here and then there's a big old piece of yarn laying across. So I'm going to go right here. Find the stitch right below that and come out right over here. Just like that. Now this yarn is poking out right here, so I'm going to go right above where this is. Pull that through. So now that's attached right there. Now we're on the top again, so I'm going to go halfway this time. Maybe right here will work. I'm going into this one right below. I'm going to come out where I want this to be, which would be right here. Okay. Now whatever I loop next is going to be attached right there. So I'm going to stick this through here. So now that part's attached right there. On the top again, so I'm going to go right here. I'm going to come out right up here. figure that'll be a good place. Whatever is right above there, which is here. Pull through. This is really just, it just takes practice. I've messed up a few attachments just because I didn't realize where it would end up, which is why I'm explaining to you where it will end up, like from the body to here. Because some things I would make my earlier days would be a little off. So I'm just going to insert right here, and I'll come out right here. And this one will be attached right there. I hope that this isn't too hard to keep up with. This is more of a trial and error, you do it yourself kind of thing. But I figured I would show you how I do mine anyway, so I could maybe help you, because I just had to figure it out on my own. Because a lot of videos that I watched were like, okay, attach these parts and then they're magically together. And you're like, oh, I wish I would have known how you did that. So I figured I would show you anyway. Okay, go right above there. Always lay that down and see what stitch I want to attach it to. So I'll go right here. And pull up right here. Go through here, come out under here. It's a little bit hard to see, but we want it to be seamless as possible. It's okay if it's not. I mean, this is handmade. Handmade things are meant to have imperfections. That's why we don't make handmade things in a factory. That's what makes handmade things so charming, is their flaws and imperfections. No two handmade things are exactly the same, and that is what is so special about them. And that's why it's important to learn how to handcraft things. And it's never too late to learn either. And I've just been doing the same steps over and over again. Because that's all it is just doing the same steps. And if you mess up, you can always pull your yarn out. And if you run out of yarn, you can add more, actually. You can like cut off another big piece and have it go through the body. Ooh. So if you were to run out, just cut off some more. Start down here, pull it through to where you need it, leave that out, and then keep going, and once you're done with it, snip it off, and it'll be fine. I had to do that on one of my other bear creations. Bearies. And almost all the way around. when you get around over here, you can't really put it underneath anymore because it's already attached, basically. Alright, make sure everything's attached. And it's not perfect, but that's the point of handmade crafts, is that they're not perfect. Okay, now we're done with this. So what I'm gonna do is pick a stitch. I'm gonna pick right here, and then I'm gonna lead it down to the bottom like I did the other ones. Pull that through. Make sure it doesn't get all knotted up. Pull that through. And now I can tug on these just a little bit and cut them off. And with your crochet hook, you can just stuff them in there so you don't see them. And there you go. There's your stem. Nice and attached. Alright, next is the ears, which of course, am going to attach them right here. Because I prefer that look as to right here. But always put them in between the little things right there. So that's what we'll end up with. So I'm going to show you how to do one of these, and then you can do the other one. By yourself. Oh no! How scary. So just put the longer piece on your yarn needle, the one you ended off with, not started. So you'll have lots of room to work. See, here's the piece I started with. It's a little bit too short to even go on my yarn needle. Just make sure you position it where you want it, right here. It's always best to look at it where you want it to go. Where do I want this to go? Right here, okay? Whenever I have this laying here, I can see that this will go right here, see? So that's where I'm going to put my first stitch. And I'm just going to put it through and out the other way. See? Now that part is attached to where I just inserted my yarn needle. Oh, there's a hair. Whoops. Also, I noticed in my other berries that I made, I did not like this little hole right here. So what I'm going to do, bring that up and see where do I need to insert. As you can see, I can insert it right here in the actual what was that? A double crochet that I made, yeah. That's the double crochet. I'm going to pull that through, and then that will get rid of that hole that I do not want. Okay, then we're going to go back into this first hole, and then come back out that same hole, just so we'll have some room to do another stitch. Okay, and there's that. And then, come up here, I'm going to put it right in the center. That will also help get rid of that little hole in the center. And always be wary of where it is going. Look at the whole picture instead of the small details sometimes. And I'm just going to insert. Come through this other stitch down here. Just like that. Ooh, look, that hole's already disappearing. Then we're going to go over to this other side on the right. Pull that through. Make sure it's nice and tight. And go through this. And go through this stitch right here. Alright. And then the last one, just going to take this right here and attach it. And bring that to the back. Now we're done with that. So I'm going to go into a different stitch right here, and I'm going to pull that through the bottom, near the bottom. Don't grab that stem. Pull that through, tug on it a little bit, snip it off. Now your ear's attached. Simple as that. And then I'm going to snip this off so we can get rid of this other little piece of yarn, because we do not want that in there. I should have made this a little bit longer. Let's see if we can get this to go through. Main thing with this is we just want to get it tucked into the body. So we're going to pull it right there. So now it's safely tucked into the body. There you go. Perfect little ear right there. And I'm going to attach this other ear right here. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to start down here. You can always look to the side, where did it end, and follow. It ended about the eye line. So the first place I'm going to stick my yarn needle is right here, and just do the same exact thing leading up to here. For your next step, you'll need to get your felt. And like I said, you'll need black for the nose, and then a color that matches the main color of yarn that you chose. And you'll want to make a little template like this. It's just a small little circle. You can just freehand it. What I did was I got a foundation cap, and I laid it on an index card, traced around it, and cut it out. And then what you can do is lay it on your main color that isn't black. Trace around it with a pencil. You can do it with a pen if it's a darker color, but don't do it on lighter colors because it will show up. You don't want that. So after you trace that with a pencil, you'll just want to cut it out. And this is what I ended up with. It does not have to be perfect, so you can still see the little pencil, but I'm going to attach it like this so you don't see the pencil. And then with your black, you'll want to cut out a little rectangle. That's what I've been doing. I cut it out to about right here, and then just trim the sides of that to where there's no harsh edges, and just turn it into a little nose like this. It's all soft, and it goes down to the soft tip right there. And then what you'll do is you'll just glue this on right here, not directly in the middle, a little bit higher, but not all the way at the top. My hot glue gun is warming up right now. You can use fabric glue, but I prefer to use a hot glue gun because it's much faster, and I don't have any fabric glue. What you'll do is you'll glue on that nose, and then you'll glue this on to your bear. And I'll come back after I've attached that because my hot glue gun is warming up. I'm now finished with our pink bear, and I have hot glued on its nose, and it looks so cute. Thank you if you watched all the way to the end of the video, and thank you if you tried to make this along with me. Hopefully you did, and hopefully you turned out with a very cute berry of your own color choosing. You could make these in literally any color you want to. They're so cute. I'm probably going to make some for gifts for birthdays and Christmas. I have a little sister who is 5, and she would absolutely adore this. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you'd like to see more from me, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment. Let me know that you like what you're watching. Let me know what else you'd like to see. Cute things are my passion. And just look at how cute this is. Also, I would like you to please comment down below what you think each one of their names should be, because I've yet to name them. So please let me know what I should name them, because they're just so cute. They deserve a name. Well, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.